I'm going to get a video. Obviously, I'm with George at the moment, which I'll show you now. As you've seen on my other video, he's currently washing himself at the moment. Say hello, George. George. There we are. You can say hello. Say hello for me. So this one is George, who's too busy licking at the moment. Go on, say hello to the camera. There we are. Aren't we good, eh? See, these two boys, the story behind them were, we had a cat called Alex, and we've always been a family to try and rescue animals rather than, because everybody wants a kitten, and I get that, and there's nothing wrong with wanting that. You know, there's families out there that just want it plain and simple. Newborn kitten, they're cute, let's get that. And that's perfectly normal, you know. Even I sometimes feel that is normal, but rescuing an animal also has the greatest feeling that anybody can think of, and it's really close to home because their story is different to my story, and my story is quite a bad story. But I will, in the video, I will explain why I'm doing the plants, why we're rescuing animals. I'll explain the story behind me as well. But their story is one of a kind, really. I suppose any story is one of a kind as well. So I don't know why I said that. But their story goes that two people wanted, they were one of three, so they had another sibling, another brother. He got adopted into a different family, and he went to, we don't really know anything about him, where he went or anything like that. All we know is that Fred and George went to an elderly couple. They took him on, and then within a few days, weeks, I'm not sure how long, I could dig out the paperwork, but it would take a while, they actually ended up being given back to the cat's protection. Now, my mum, as I say, lost our other cat. He died quite young, actually. He was 9, I think 9, but I might be wrong. Off the top of my head, I think he was around 9. And he used to go on these amazing adventures. We lived, you know, in Croyd at one point, and he went from our house, and it was near the Thatch Barn, so you can see how realistic this is. He went from the Thatch Barn, shall we say, because we were just down the road from there in Croyd, and he made his way to Croyd Beach, and it took him 3 days to do that. Now, I think countless times we managed to go around searching, have you seen this cat, have you seen this cat? And there was a few times where a guy actually rescued him from a car. You know, he really had 9 lives. He even had way more. He got himself into all sorts of trouble, and he just managed to just live and live and live. And when we moved here, he really struggled. He couldn't cope. We tried. He ended up pooing and weeing on certain floors, and in every case, that is quite common. When a cat is used to a familiar place and then they move, it can come across very hard for them, and I don't think we realise how difficult it is for animals. So when you take one on, I think you need to take on board that actually, when you have that animal, is it the right time to move? He did go on his little trips, like I said, you know, and I loved him. I loved him so much, but he wasn't really a human cat. Like, I mean, he didn't want to be around us. Like, he liked us on his terms, but it only had to be his terms, not anybody else's, his. So in the end, we found him one morning. He was just not doing anything. He was vegging out, you know, he wasn't eating. He stopped his whole diet. He stopped drinking, all that. And basically, we took him to the vets, and he had pancreatitis and diabetes. Now, for a cat, diabetes and pancreatitis is quite rare, apparently. I'm not sure if pancreatitis is rare, but apparently diabetes is incredibly rare, because cats that have diabetes, they don't end up living. The story is, after the old people basically, I'm not sure if I fully told you, but I'll tell you now. After the old people didn't want them, found them a handful, we then took them on. They were back, and Mum got the call. She was so excited. I moved back, so that gives me back to when I moved here. I moved back in. The day I moved in, Mum got a phone call, and she collected the 2 kittens, and basically what happened was that I fell in love with them straight away. They were cute, and I've never really been one for ginger cats, but I've never really been one for, you know, myself. I like blonde or brown myself, but we all have, you know, I like blonde, but you can't get a blonde cat. I would rather have a darker cat, or, you know, one like that. So, yeah, I kind of did that a little bit, and it went great. So they came to live with us, and they've been so naughty, like all the time. They keep running around. They keep biting each other. They took the Christmas tree down the other day, actually, upstairs on the hallway. They managed to like knock it down. They climbed up it and took ripped the whole tree. I don't even know how they did it, but they did it. And they were running around with baubles in their mouth, and they're just so playful. And they end up sleeping on my bed. And occasionally I do roll on them, and they let me know, but they like to snuggle. When they were kittens, I used to put my arms out like that, and one would go there, one would go under the other armpit, and they would just go night, and they would like go to sleep, and it'd be so cute.